Beyond the stars lie a web of pearls, each gemstone a miniature world unto itself. Upon these worlds interconnected our stories are told, and the fate of creation hangs in the balance. Welcome to the Titan's Gift.
I think he has an idea.
Yeah.
That's an idea, boys.
Watch none of us ask him what it is. We're just like, yeah, whatever. Good evening and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Titan's Gift Campaign, episode 29. I'm your demon host, Marty, joined by Matt, Levi, Luke, and Neil. How is everyone doing tonight?
Oh, so good.
Pretty good.
So good.
Yep, that's awesome. Who's going to start out? How was your week? Actually, it's been, what, a week and a half? 2 weeks? No, we played last week. Okay, how was your week?
It's long. I think I was on call at work and there were a variety of complicated issues, so I'm still cleaning that stuff up. But the weekend was all right. Yeah.
Do you have shits to give?
No, I'm actually running a deficit at the moment. In order to get back to zero, I will need to shove them up my own ass.
Oh, weird.
And it won't be, not in an enjoyable way. If that's anyway. Next, anyone? Someone other than me, please.
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat as you. Just work is going crazy for me. None of my hiking plans happened this weekend. Turns out Luke was right, and that it snowed in.
Sorry, buddy.
But that wasn't actually the main reason. My son ended up having basketball games every single day this weekend.
Oh.
I mean, if they can have a Mother's Day tournament, surely they can have a Memorial Day tournament, right?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So we spent most of the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday next to the basketball courts while he was playing matches, which was good, but not what we planned on doing.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, well, life happens, and then sometimes there's basketball, I guess.
Yeah,
Like the old American saying goes.
Sometimes you just gotta ball for 3 days.
You gotta be balling.
And you get to watch.
Levi, what's going on with you, man?
This weekend, what did I do? A whole lot of nothing. I went and got a tattoo.
That's not true, though.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, what?
Are you gonna show it off?
Yeah. Whoa.
What am I looking at?
Hold up to...
American classic ankle cuff I've been wanting for a couple months now.
Nice.
Oh,
Dude.
okay. I thought that was your sock for a second.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's kind of classy.
Yeah.
Real bad.
What's the backstory on this? Usually
Nothing. I've just been wanting a
one?
tattoo for a while. I've seen an image close to that. Somebody did it, kind of something like it on their wrist, and then it's been in my mind still. I was like, okay, well, that's a sign. If I'm still thinking about it, I should probably do it.
Yeah.
And so I was walking by the one right here. I was like, just walked in. It's like, hey, do you want to do this? Like, yeah, sure. Cool.
Oh, shit. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's my first one.
Holy cow, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm sorry to say that I couldn't really
Oh,
see.
it fucking hurt.
I guess so, around the ankle, too.
Yeah, he's like, where do you want it? I was like, right there. He's like, that's gonna hurt. I was like, uh-huh. He's like, all right, flip over on your stomach. Flipped over, he's like, you are sweating. It hurts. He's like,
Nice.
That is pretty awesome.
It's 2 hours of just pain. But yeah,
Luke, what's
my
up?
big thing.
I went out of town for the weekend with the girlfriend and her friends from school, and it was awesome. It was rainy weather, but we had a nice place to stay at. Went to a winery, got a hike in, did 4 hours of hike planning on the Thursday before I left because like last year I nonchalantly, instead of working, like threw together a hike plan, like, oh, it's so good, Luke, you gotta plan it next year. And then like now I have like 10 people that, oh, we're gonna go wherever you say, Luke, don't kill us. Also, they better not suck.
Right.
So like I got super into it because I've never been to that area before and I had no idea what to do. And after many OneNote pages, Google Places maps, and GPS maps, I finally figured it out. It was good. It was real good.
I saw the campfire picture. That looked pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. The water level on the lake is like 5 foot below what it must get up to in the summer, because all the like glaciers and shit or snowpack hasn't melted. So where we're sitting is going to be under 5 feet of water at the end of the summer. It's just like the beach underneath the dock. It's pretty wild. Like all the docks are like way up in the air, and then you're down there where water will be. And so we made a little campfire and looked at the stars.
Good deal.
Kissed each other's faces. You know.
All right.
Can you say that on an international stream?
Yeah.
You're not afraid that somebody's gonna see this?
Yeah. Don't tell anybody. It'll be our secret.
So what did I do this weekend? I went to Paizo.
Oh yeah, give us a recap. How was it?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gaming and going to panels and drinking in the evenings and staying up way too late, and I am absolutely exhausted. Second edition is actually better than the playtest. We ground through as 4 fighters 11 fights in 4 hours. Now, it was just back-to-back, like single encounter kind of things, and our fighters were leveling up between fights with random feats. It was a little bit blended, but by the end, the people that were playing at the table had 4 completely different feeling fighters, and we were, taking on high-level foes, and the stuff we were doing each round felt important. I don't know, I'm a fan of the action economy. So, the plan we're not going to adopt second edition right away. What we're ended up going to doing is I'll go back to Ontario in August for a week and a half, 2 weeks, hang out with Adam, Mark, and Ahmed. We will, I've already pre-ordered 3 copies of the rules, and they will be arriving in Ontario, so I don't have to lug them with me. Plus I leave kind of the day that the stuff drops and comes out, so I don't know if I'd actually get it if I did it the other way. And we'll just hang out for 4 days during that time and kind of offline, off-stream, grind through the rules. They're 640-page rule books. I don't think us flipping through these books would make for a good stream, but what we'll do is give you our thoughts when we get back, and then probably do a couple of playtesty kind of things of the second edition rule set. Now, the reason why I'm kind of putting it off, like adopting a campaign, is that we have several campaigns on the go where we played 1E, and I do not want to convert them. I do not want to spend time doing that. I'd rather come up with content than try to massage existing content. That, and it tends to take about 6 months to a year for a system to have enough options. Where you could say a random class, like I want to play a wisdom archer, and you'd be able to build your Zen archer. It'll take some time for that to happen, but I'm hopeful. From what I saw this weekend of playing it, talking about it, from my glimpses of the rules, there's some goodness there. I still will wait until the rubber hits the road and test drive this baby out. But I was cautious going to, my feeling about the system was cautious, a bit cynical, and then my feeling coming out of it is mildly optimistic. There are still some things that might bother me with the system, adding your level to everything. Ahmed, oh my god, you're going to be so happy with the system. Just add your level to everything.
That does make it easier.
Well, it's something he's been trying to do for forever, man. Can you make the world that the chat gods take over 2E, Marty, after the end of the multiverse? Well, maybe you should cheer on the fail of the multiverse. Foxfire is actually like looking a campaign or 2 ahead and saying, Marty's destroying everything. The Ragnarok happening, the Planar War, Maybe. Maybe it's the Great Reset. Who knows? Okay, why don't we do a quick recap of... So, a lot of fun. Met some cool people while there. There's a Kickstarter called Monsters of Merca, which is a pretty funny political satire monster manual for 5e, and I believe Pathfinder 2 will come out.
Nice.
Talk to the two guys that are designing this book and running the Kickstarter, and they're fucking hilarious. So had a beer with them after one of the nights, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Paizo people were really nice too.
Whew. Well, that was exciting. It sounded fun. It sounded like there's some fun text getting sent over. It was fun. Somebody recognized you from the channel.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk to them very much. They just sort of recognized three of us sitting at the bar. They're like, "Wow, all three of you are on YouTube," but they said it in passing, like while they're on a conversation
Maybe
kind of
it's
thing.
It was a
So
derisive low. Like,
I don't know what that means, but it was like,
Eh.
it's better than going to TwitchCon and being recognized as the guy who runs the game for the people that fall asleep at the table.
Hey.
No, it's not your group.
Ahmed.
I'm really waiting. They're very tired.
They fall asleep at the table.
Awesome, though.
Yeah, I know they're awesome. I like, well, these are my friends. I play games with them. 3 hours difference, and they have kids.
Sleepy
yeah.
Canadians.
Right.
They're napping.
You give the recap. Let me just flash this to the stream. I've been thinking about this game for all week, and I have a convoluted series of illusions I've prepared as a means of distracting the enemies. I got my notes.
You have your token tool, and you've created some of the.
I forgot to make tokens. I really gotta go to the bathroom while you do recap, and then I'm making tokens.
Okay.
Damn it, Luke.
What prep did you do this week?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I showed up.
I'm here.
The Lukester.
I talked my mind to a dangerous situation. I showed up.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so why don't we do a recap? Everyone's a Critic, episode 28. Luudo gets in over his head while spying on Spyder, his gangs, and his operations. Manny seems to be in seventh heaven while at the meat shop and refuses to leave. Pharisee, Zephyros, and the professor visit an artist conclave at the Magnolia residence in search for allies. Shelsa, Luudo's ink familiar, escapes from Spyder's den to inform the Jerks Emeritus of Luudo's whereabouts. And she gave some sort of tactical hints that one of the two chimneys wasn't being used, and she just simply climbed out of the chimney. You know that there is a storeroom near the back door to the tavern. There is a secret door inside the storeroom that leads down into the basement where bad things happen. And she also said that Luudo might have done a bad thing.
Yeah. Cool.
You know, to get into good graces with
Of course.
Yeah. Ahmed is asking for hero points and villain points. Let's just kind of talk. I think Fox has got a hero or a villain point in the wings. D&D Action Junkie, you currently have a hero point. Is anyone else here? Apple Bad Apple, you could have a hero or villain point. Let us know.
Woo! Whoa, Apple Bad Apple. That's a new one.
You want a hero or villain point? I'll put that down there. All right. So I think we left off with Luudo in the basement getting drunk with the Spyder and his gang. They're not quite letting you leave. You could tell the Spyder is trying to get more information out of you, and the information is specifically about Psy and Psy's operations. Mm-hmm. Apparently the two of them might be rivals, perhaps friends of old and now rivals.
Seems that way.
Luudo has been close-lipped, you know, saying a lot but not saying a lot.
He doesn't really know much to say.
Right. I think Matt put it in an
Yeah,
interesting way last time.
Let's stick with that.
Well, the rest of you have gone back to the Pearl Cantina and Brothel to hatch your plans for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
After we had visited the
Magnolia Escape.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you guys go back to the Cactus, not the Cactus Express, the Pearl Cantina. They just force you guys there. Manny is at the meat shop. The place is guarded. You're asked for a thing when you enter.
I'll toss in another ration.
Okay.
I'll vanish and go in.
Cast spells and just kind of go in. Yeah, they weren't quite. They don't ask for Zephyros. They don't ask Zephyros for anything.
Yeah, he's respected around here. I'm like,
Damn right.
Yep. They seem to be kind of fearful of the Tusker. Perhaps there have been Tuskers before you whose reputation you are riding. Malbut does produce a coin and puts it into a bucket. You're pretty sure the coin probably gets pocketed by the guard. Pharisee put in a ration. Pixel just made herself small as you guys were coming into the cantina. And Tech actually put in an arm. An arm. Yeah, he had sort of like he had butchered into smaller pieces a bunch of the men from the butcher shop, and he just puts in an arm and says "good meat." And much to the horror of the guard that is there.
Yeah, just let that one go.
How do you guys want to prepare that evening? You do see Rix and Musk are nearby. That is
While we're thinking about that, Foxfire says a hero point, Marty.
Let's have a quick discussion of what the plan is, so we can get a sense of where we want Rix to be.
Yes, I agree.
What were you thinking, Professor?
Well, just a moment. Let me get a spot of tea. Hold on.
You don't see Sai. You don't see Samson. For some reason, Sweet Josie has been left to tend to the bar.
Yes, well, I was thinking that a group of you go around back. Definitely go get Manny in the morning to bring along. Position yourselves somewhere near that door, looking conspicuous. I'll start a commotion out in the square, though, and do my best to draw as many of the minions out. I don't think Spyder would risk himself in a street fight on the surface if it's just a bit of squabbling, perhaps a little more. And once you hear the commotion, wait around a bit and then make your entry. Go downstairs, kill the Spyder, save Luudo. I don't know.
That sounds about right. What do you think? A commotion might involve Rix, or shall we try and take him downstairs?
Oh, a curious question.
I think taking him downstairs is probably the better idea.
Or perhaps they could go early, go gamble downstairs, and when the moment's right, break into a bit of a bar fight. I'm not saying they have to kill the Spyder, but maybe there's some other patrons there who need a good thrashing.
That's not a bad idea.
Malbut has an idea as well.
Says Malbut.
Yes, go on, Malbut.
If we sent the Red Cap in through the front door while we're going through the back.
Yes, that's a capital idea. Send him through the front door. There's probably no reason he can't just walk in if he's got coin to spend.
It'll also distract anybody who's still in there from our entry.
And if the Red Caps get into any trouble, they don't know us. They can just say that they were coming for a bit of drink.
Sure. You'll make your distraction first, and then the Red Cap will go in.
Yes. So, however they want to time it. Do you have any thoughts, Zephyros?
Honestly,
Actually, if he's
all I'm
already
thinking
inside,
is,
he could open the door for us.
No.
yes, he could. That could actually work. All I know is I'm probably just gonna use a lot of fire and a lot of shocking power, and to do all that, I just need them lined up nicely somewhere.
Ooh, about that, do be careful you don't burn the whole place down if you don't have to.
Can Makronam be a Petrian vase?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Oh,
They're pretty.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Macron.
You're welcome.
Zephyros, do you have the ability to turn the fire into some sort of watery fire? I recall you discussing that sort of research in the past.
I will have to check my spell books. I know that as a wizard I can versatile cast. I am not sure if I can do it as a magus. That makes it a little bit more interesting. I can, of course, prepare my flaming spears and fireballs and do it with them.
Yes, as I said, if we can't burn the place down, there is a good bit more to pick over in the end if we have time.
Are we attacking at night or during the day?
The morning it will be the quietest in the square and in the bar, but perhaps we want more people to add to the confusion. What do you think?
I'm thinking electricity damage could do just as much as fire damage.
I imagine a lot of them will have some sort of studs and weapons for it to arc off of quite handily.
And if we fire off one and that doesn't work, I could just swap the next one out to be cold.
Expect spiders. Lots of spiders.
What is good against spiders?
Spiders in their webs, I think probably burn up the webs.
Yes,
Spiders taste good.
perhaps
Says Tech.
a fireball followed by a watery fireball or an ice fireball or something of the effect. I don't quite...
Would a cold fireball distinguish the fires?
We will ponder that as three...
There are all sorts of empty houses around here. Go
Cold
try and burn
fireball
one down.
won't set the building on fire.
Will it still burn up spider webs, though?
Like tiny gossamer webs, maybe? No, it won't burn up a web. It's a physical object, and you're still doing damage with cold, so maybe.
Do we know what would be the best sort of thing against spiders?
Give me a knowledge nature.
Who knows the most about this? Perhaps you could lead us in the discussion.
I know
I have a
this amount
plus
about me.
9.
I'll lead.
All right, well, I have plus 16, actually.
Now that you've been killing a lot of spiders lately,
Oh, yes!
tell us all about them.
Oh, you rolled actually, he has enough to help you.
Zephyros aids as well.
Tech probably knows.
Yeah,
nature?
tech will aid as well. That's
So-
plus
Alright.
6.
Is that 5 aids?
I see 4.
Plus 8.
Plus 8, yeah.
Alright. 26.
26. Nice that you got the plus 8 in there.
Yes, it is.
So over a tin cup of coffee. Now this is a rare thing to begin with. But for some reason, Sweet Josie had brewed a pot of coffee and had poured you guys all a tin, and is now offering whether or not you want some whiskey in your coffee.
Really?
No thanks.
Okay.
Yes, of course. I was hoping for
Yes,
tea, of course. But coffee's fine, I guess.
Makernam even kind of crawls up under the bar stool. She sort of looks at it, sees that it has eyes and a smile, and she kind of puts the coffee cup in front of it, and a tendril comes out and...
Yep.
Oh wait, is it for eating or for keeping?
It's most certainly for eating.
Oh, okay.
The contents.
The whole cup and the contents disappear into Makernam.
Ooh, sorry about that.
How's doing business, Josie?
Yes, I said tonight you guys could have whatever you want.
Oh. He thinks we're going to die, doesn't he?
Yes, it sounds like it.
I've got some pies in the back, she says.
Ah, yes, a last meal. So,
But I swear if I ever come back in here and there's a picture of us eating dinner on like the Last Supper,
Well,
Like the last dinner of the old gods. We'll create some lore.
perhaps we will be legends one day, Zephyros. Don't be too hasty.
Well, I don't know about you, but I am a legend in my own time.
Oh, yes, I know. You're the only one that doesn't have to pay cover charges and gets thank yous in the street. Well, yes, of course. But anyway.
The thing is, I'm not casting illusions to make that happen. You're seeing it on your own accord.
Yes, I know, mighty Tusker. But back to the plan at hand.
Yes, swarms. If a spider's big enough to hit with a stick, pretty much anything will get it. Probably don't want to use illusions on bugs. They're pretty stupid to begin with. And then swarms, pretty much any area of effect spell, unless the spiders are somehow special. Fire is probably the easiest thing to use. A torch if you don't have an AoE spell.
Flaming sphere rolling around in there.
The flaming sphere rolling around will also work. A fireball will work. Burning hands will work.
Do we know will cold fire spread the same way hot fire will?
Nope.
Okay, so if you can make cold fire, it'll still do damage and burn stuff, but it's not going to burn a place down.
Nope.
Splendid. Well, something to think about at least, Zephyros.
So we're saying a cold fireball will still injure the spiders?
Yeah, spiders and probably their webbing. Not as effective as fire, but their webbing.
At least not as effective on the webbing, but yes.
Something to consider.
Yes.
So
I still think fire is the best.
Well,
Oh, we almost burned down that other building when you used your fire.
I suppose I'm not.
But we didn't, did we?
No, thanks to Pharisee and Create Water, we did not.
But were the bad guys dead?
Yes. I suppose I'm not too concerned about killing them. The only concern I have is burning down half of the slough. Things are pretty bad down here, Zephyros. If a fire started in that building, it may spread.
If a fire does not start in that building and we lose this battle, then whatever is in that building right now will spread.
Fair enough. I shan't belabor the point any longer.
There are plump, round, but small-ish, overstuffed Yondan pot pies that Sweet Josie serves to all of you. There are all sorts of steamed vegetables, a nice gravy, and some, looks like pheasant inside.
Wonderful.
I've never seen Sai show this generosity.
You're pretty sure Sai didn't make the pies, but they did come from his kitchen.
Perhaps this is just gratitude for getting him his meat supply back.
Yes, let's say that's it.
Yes, well, in any case, we should also try and see about that errant knight we found. Guardsman something rather. It would be wise if someone was to pass him a message that if he wants to do some good for the people of the slough, he should try and keep an eye on the square tomorrow and get any innocent civilians to safety if he can.
It's a fine plan. He seems like he'll cause plenty of chaos with his do-gooder.
Tech pushes the pie off to the side. Zephyros, it looks like he's not interested in it. He takes out a hunk of meat that is kind of like, at first you think it's a ham, and then you realize that it's just a very, very precisely cut thigh. Kind of like a cylinder of thigh with the bone still in the middle, and he begins to kind of eat it like corn on the cob.
In any case,
Malbut kind of he almost pukes a little bit and shuffles over as Tech is eating people.
Pharisee, I don't suppose you could get any word to any more of your kinfolk. Tell them, perhaps, if they want revenge for their kind, to be in the square and take it.
I'll certainly do my best, but
Sure.
they seem to be reticent.
Yes, short notice as well.
I'll I'll make some inquiries. I'll send some notes around or whatever.
Ah, thank you. Maybe helpful, maybe a bit more confusion. So
Kix will deliver a message tomorrow morning to the Fae that we know in the art collective.
The next morning?
Yeah, I'll have
Okay.
her deliver it maybe tonight. That tomorrow morning in the square will be a ruckus.
Okay. Yeah, one of the children that used to live in the professor's apartment goes and runs the
that's
message.
perfect. Yeah.
And does so for like a few pennies.
Excellent.
So that means we've got Red Cap friends going through the front door, posing as patrons, ready to cause a ruckus and maybe open the back door if they can. We've got Zephyros leading a strike team of Manny, Tech, you, Pharisee, Pixel, Markernom, waiting somewhere around back for the commotion to begin, then heading to the back door, knocking it down, checking if it's unlocked, the usual. Head downstairs, find the Spyder, hopefully Luudo can spring a trap on him in the appropriate moment.
Yes, let's hope so.
And I will be in the square trying to pull everyone I can out of that fortress. I may make things appear to burn down. There will be quite a bit of darkness and turmoil. Remember, if you see anything particularly disturbing or unnatural, I am in control. It is vastly important you trust me. If you don't, it could be the end of us.
Well, I'll surely keep it in mind.
Okay.
And then afterwards, all goes according to plan. Meet back at my apartment, and perhaps we try the key again and see if we can get home, get out of town, let the heat die down.
Perhaps.
Collect our debt from Psy later.
Well, I think the lift will probably be operational again relatively soon after the collapse of the Spyder's webbing.
True. We may not even want to use it if we don't have to.
Well, I don't have to.
No, you can fly, yes. But if we have the key, we may just want to avoid this part of town for a while. We
Perhaps,
may be
yes.
seen by some survivors.
Yeah, perhaps.
It would be mighty nice if afterwards I could go and let them, take my master's remains and lay them to rest as his wishes were.
Yes, it would be nice to get that deed finally accomplished. I could use a bit of rest at home, some research in my spell book. I have some ideas I want to share with the rest of you.
Do you have a mage hand prepared by any chance?
I do.
Oh. Well, I was going to say, if you don't watch this, and Zephyros steps back into one of these big pillars and starts scratching his back like only an elephant could.
I will cast an unseen servant and have it scratch my back for me. I don't have a trunk, but I manage. It's fine.
Look at that. Look at how quickly I got that token in there.
Oh, you got one? Oh, nice. Look at him in there. Oh, that
Yeah,
reminds me.
he was hidden at the top here.
I have to make some quick tokens. Oh, shit.
Okay.
I think that's a plan, though, right? Is that good?
You spend the evening at the cantina. You spend the night in Zalara's room, or you could just sleep on one of the benches in the cantina itself. There seems to be a lot of people missing from the cantina. They don't come around that evening. A lot of their muscle is gone.
In a moment where it's quiet and we have the room to ourselves, do you suppose he's marching us into a trap tomorrow? That there's been some forewarning of what's about to happen? Awfully quiet in here.
I don't think it would benefit him.
Awfully generous of Psy. Maybe make a truce with his arrival.
I don't think the Spyder would like an alliance with Psy. I feel like Psy wants to be in charge all the time, don't you?
Yes.
And the Spyder kind of wants to be in charge all the time as well. They just seem like the kind of people that the kind of men that don't like to share.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Just, it's a bit odd today. Something feels unnatural.
Sure.
Okay, you guys wake up the next morning, prepare your spells, and then where do you head?
To the meadery.
To the meadery, okay? On the way to the meadery, I'm going to move you guys to the slurry pipe. No, not the slurry pipe. The bottle and blade for now. There's a little spot off to the side where your miniatures are. Rix the Red Cap and Musk are kind of following you guys.
I'm gonna smash some skulls and kick them in! I'm gonna curb stomp them all!
He doesn't even know he is fighting, but he seems to be in a froth.
It's going to be fantastic, Rix.
Grigori the
So
Greek
fantastic.
lands on kind of like an eaves trough, kind of looking down at the group of you walking.
Hello. I've got a few friends.
You vaguely see like other things like crickets, kind of like hopping on roofs and that sort of thing.
Delightful. There are quite a few people that would be enthralled by your music, I'm sure.
Bottle and blade, huh?
Yes.
Well, we don't eat a lot of bread. A lot of people do.
Yes.
And it's the Spyder's men that run the bread line. I wonder if we can go and play some tricks over there and
I think that's a great idea.
make it go all wrong. You'll hear us playing too.
Good. Good. I enjoy your playing.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Bye. Good luck. May the 1,001 fake odds be with you.
They always are.
Especially Autumn, says Pixel, as she does a little pirouette in front of you.
Ah, all the gods of autumn.
That's because everything's gonna die.
She says.
Yes. Yes, a glorious end, but the death is winter. We live here in the autumn, where everything is alive for a time.
Pixel seems happy with that. Happy enough that she is not bothered by the eventual doom.
Winter will come in its own time. Let us not serve to hasten it.
Let us enjoy the harvest of our lives.
Indeed.
Luudo, you're kind of in the second day of drinking with Spyder and his men.
Are they just feeding it to me?
They're just feeding it to you. At one point, you had wandered over to this gambling table and I guess talked to some of the other people in the tavern. Who did you want to talk to?
Let's see, who's the two?
The guy is dissecting fairies. There's the mocking fae at the center of the room.
I'm gonna talk to the Dr. Barm.
Okay, you walk up to him.
You definitely picked a very vital fairy. Strong wings, good silicate.
What exactly are you doing with these things?
Well, we're making money.
Ah. That's it? Just for their dust? Nothing else?
Would you like a little sniff?
I've got this drink here with me, that's fine. I don't partake.
Oh, but this is concentrated.
I understand.
We haven't diluted it with other things. This will make you see the gods.
You guys cut product in here?
The trick is not to cut it too much.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yes.
I'll,
But not to cut it with anything that will kill.
what could you cut it to kill?
Oh, lots of things.
Do you have a choice substance?
This is for sale for making money. Dead people don't. Well, dead clients aren't willing to pay.
That makes sense. Well, enjoy destroying the ferry.
Well, no, you capture this one. It's only fitting that you get the first whiff.
Not exactly excited about what I did in there, but
You kind of take a little spoonful of something, is holding up to you.
if you insist, I guess I'll,
You're pretty hungover. You're gonna need a pick-me-up for this battle.
I kind of, Luudo gives a chuckle. That's how I take my mutagens.
Yes.
Well, here we go. Line me up, fatty.
Alright, so Luudo takes a whiff of a snort of freshly mixed fairy dust. Give me a fourth save.
Doesn't matter what it does.
Or what are you talking? I think that's my good one. Decent. 21.
Okay, this stuff is particularly strong. You take a +2 we'll say a +2 alchemical bonus to Dex and Int. And you've taken 2 wisdom damage. You feel great.
Makes sense. Okay.
Ah, the first time, isn't it? We all wish we could go back to the first time.
You could say that.
Chasing the fairy dragon.
A creepy man, but I like you.
You're creepy, man, but I like you.
See?
As the little mocking phase turned into a tiny Luudo.
He knows.
He snorts in annoyance at it.
Ludo's kind of like waving his arms. So what do we do after we do this? Like, is there a game or?
There are plenty of games. I have much work to do. The rest of this needs to be processed and diluted. We'll have to make our way up to the plateau where our most eager customers are.
I bet. When do you usually go up there?
He's part of production, says the Spyder, wandering over. Not distribution.
Oh. Who's your distributor? They must be pretty sneaky.
You have an eye for alchemy, don't you? You know what this is?
Yes? Pixie dust?
No, this bottle.
Just name a random.
Oh, King's foot.
And this one?
Queen's toes?
Funny.
I call that little purple one nubbins. I don't know why.
There's a little twist of annoyance. He goes back to working.
Very well.
Are we keeping him, Spyder? I don't know yet.
He seems to be a good fey catcher. Perhaps we should give him a job.
Ludo's kind of like wiggling his nose, trying to.
Yep. You can't sit still.
That sounds ominous. It's like blinking all incorrectly.
Well, you came here for a job, didn't you? Says the scaled woman with the snake eyes.
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. Anything could be useful. It looks like I'd be on the right side of the table.
I've got one question for him. Says this one halfling that sits right across from you.
Oh, you're just like, we're the same. Oh my god.
How many people have you killed?
Well, let's see. Ludo's gonna like start counting on his fingers, and then he's gonna put one. No, I didn't do that. Yeah, I did, I guess. Counting toes? I'd give him a wink. Well over 20.
20? Huh. Alright, Spyder. Perhaps you have a good eye.
He's giving you a look like you're gonna have competition with the other with this other Fae. Or sorry, with this other Yondan.
Yeah.
Halfling. You notice that whoever the red-headed dude sitting in the corner with the strange robe and the near mohawk, he seems to be sniffing some of the dust as well. He gets up. Days like these, I want to kill something. He sits down. We'll get our chance. We haven't heard back from the recruiters yet. No, we haven't. I'm looking forward to paying some of those gangs a visit.
Gangs?
Yes, there are quite a few neighborhoods not under the Spyder's control. They all come begging, however, once we starve them out.
Starve them literally or drug-wise?
Oh, this one's smart too. You're gonna have to watch out for this one, Spyder.
I'm not.
You have a raised eyebrow from Dr. Verm, who's right beside you. He smells icky.
Nope.
He smells like, I don't know, kind of like a faint hint of troll armpit with ointment smell, like an old man.
like a D&D Bengay.
Right. Exactly.
Let's play a game.
Says Sinton. Dr. Verm actually sits down, like he stops working, like he wants to play a game.
Now you want to play a game, I look at him.
Yeah, they actually break out dwarven squares.
Yes.
Which is a tile game. They seem to all like playing it together.
Luudo is psyched just because he doesn't really know what this game is, I would think, but he's just.
This is a nicer family than our family, man.
Yep.
No. We're gonna kill them.
Now, what are the stakes?
Usual.
That's boring. We've got someone new.
You notice that he's like sharpening a knife.
Do you guys usually bet drugs or?
Shots! Yawn. Sometimes we bet body parts. Don't tell him that, he's new.
Ugh. Do you get new body parts?
Doesn't matter where the body part comes from.
Oh.
Yod here enjoys animating them.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Wait, which one do you on? Oh, it's.
Oh yeah.
How do you go about doing that exactly?
How do you think?
Necromancy?
He is smart. You know wizardry. He also knows alchemy.
He knows what distribution means.
It's
It's a low bar in this place.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of things, I guess.
He's
Too
killed
bad there aren't int saves.
He's killed 20 men. Comes strolling in here. Why? What do you want, Lou? Sweet Lou?
Yes. I forgot about Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou! Well, came back from a little side gig, came back to a burnt city, and apparently a new queen, according to your dwarf buddy, who was passed out and not doing quite a very good job of being on watch. Ran into him. He let me know. It seems this world has changed since I've been here. Wanted to get to the bottom of it. Now, what about this tile game?
And then what? Oh yeah, they're arranging tiles, and there's this weird formation in the middle, and you got some tiles in front of you. You're not too sure. You're sort of like peeking at the symbols on the tiles. It's like part mahjong,
Right,
part
like,
dominoes.
Am I
It's-
trying to look at other people?
You notice them playing. Do you have profession gambler or anything like that?
No.
In check as you're trying to figure out how this is played.
That'd be a good one.
You do have some chits beside you that might represent your lives or money or body parts.
You gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em.
The little fae that you had clonked over the head, who had now been dissected of its wings, its body just sort of sitting in a little tray, still on the table right beside you.
Know when to walk away.
Right?
Know when to run.
You can know
Work.
can when the dealing's done.
Time enough for counting when the stabbing is done.
Sweet Loon mumbles to himself, plays with his tiles.
21. Oh, you pick up this game. This is pretty easy. Must be playing on easy mode or something like that because they're not all very intelligent. However, you need to watch out for the doctor. He seems to have turned his shit hand into something you can't quite get yet.
Okay.
Sinton looks, the other halfling looks really frustrated. Yod looks bored, as if perhaps this hand is not his thing, and Dissa looks like she's having a hard time.
So, what's the bet?
We're gonna play for chits. Loser has to find a body part.
Find.
Or you could donate one.
Very well. How does this betting exactly work? We all throw in a.
Yeah, you have like 5 coins to bet with,
Oh, okay.
and when you run out, you've lost.
Very good.
Okay, so you end up playing this this game of tiles, and that sort of eats up a little bit of that evening. This is the second night of you imbibing and kind of partying. At one point, Spyder does leave.
Where's he off to? Does he not play?
Oh, Spyder. Spyder doesn't like to lose.
Oh, have you told him that?
No. Let's just say that Yard over here had a companion for a while after he lost the last time. We don't tend to invite him to these games.
Oh. Is he off distributing, I say in parentheses?
You're awfully
Curious about our distribution.
Huh. I'm just curious where he goes. He seems like a powerful guy. Interesting places to go. I'm hopped up on this drug you made me take.
They all start kind of giggling.
Everything's so quick. Look at my hands.
They're all like laughing with you, like it's a shared joke or something like that.
So are you looking for work then?
And as a mercenary,
That'll do. It's worked in the past.
You're looking to join.
Yeah. I like to keep my options open as a mercenary. I'm a traveling man. Half man.
well, you're not going anywhere anytime soon, so you might
Correct.
as well join.
That seems like a commitment. And I don't know if you noticed. Don't got a ring on this finger. Not a committed man.
He thinks he's better than us.
No.
Well, he's not better than us at this game.
Says the doctor.
Oh, blast, Doctor, I don't know why we play with you either. You learn a few things each time you play with me, for sure.
He collects like the chips.
You know, if the Doctor wins, you know what sort of body parts we're gonna have to bring him? Wings.
I thought we were going. Okay. Yep. Never mind.
You know, if I win, I'm gonna ask for Yond body parts.
You probably don't want mine.
No, why not?
I mean, what would you do with it?
You look healthy.
Are you hitting on me?
You'd only be so lucky.
Ludo's gonna give a couple like air kisses.
I'd add you to my collection.
Can I see?
Do you really want to see its collection?
Sure.
The snake woman raises an eyebrow, shakes her head. Yod just laughs.
I'll show it to you later when I've cut off a few of your bips and bobs.
I'll definitely want to know where they end up. Better be a velvet cupboard.
Keep it up and we might actually start liking you.
You guys go to the other group. Split the party, split the party. You guys go to the meat shop and find Manny. Manny there, chatting. There's a line of people all waiting for meat, and it looks like he's charging for it and earning money.
Manny.
Sloughborough Quality Meats.
Sloughborough.
Yeah, okay, I just put Manny down on the
They have a great
bottom of the plate. He's got like an apron on, and he's full on running the place. It looks like.
Time to go get Luudo, Manny.
You're not here for meat? I made some good sausages.
Do you know who likes sausages? Fucking Luudo likes sausages.
He also likes not being dead. I don't know if you're worried about that one, Mandreas.
Time to bring him back.
Although if he does die, we might
Need
need to
someone else
carve
to
him
run
up.
the shop.
He wipes the blade on the apron that he's wearing, and he shoots the professor like a death look.
Yes, Manny, I know. You love your damned knife. It's got a mind of its own. It possesses your brain from time to time and controls your actions. Please remember your god or something at those times. You shouldn't have your mind dominated by a simple tool. Good gracious.
Manny blinks.
Well, I love you, Manny.
There's this weird twist of anger about his face.
Ah, yes, there it is. You see it trying to battle for control of your will? You damned fool, pray or something.
He flinches. He has a racial bonus against mind-affecting effects called Liberty or Death, so his will save is actually plus 11.
Oh, that's better than we thought.
Yep.
Can the knife
He rolled a 1 last time.
That's right.
Can the
Like
knife...
an actual 1.
Levi, could you give me a roll for Manny's will save to see if he's going to go and save his buddy?
Sure.
Or help save his buddy?
Let's see, it's been a while since I've opened his
Just to be clear, what you're really rolling is whether we go have this fight today or whether we stay one more night.
I don't know, there's lots of pieces in motion.
Whether I
You're
have
gonna start losing fingers.
another night of drinking for me, drinking of
Can you-
drugs.
Can your halfling liver take it?
Yeah, I need a d20 roll.
Will 124.
11. Don't roll a 1.
13. Close.
Holy fuck.
He can barely pull himself.
You notice
away.
him like shaking as he's putting the blade into its sheath at his side,
Jesus.
and then he just rubbing his temples. Place is closed for the day, and he yells at a bunch of people in line, and they complain a little bit, but they see all the rest of you, and he kind of yells at them, and they go away.
25% off in the morning.
Oh, some people are leaving.
Have you seen that
I
guardsman
don't know the
around,
place.
Manny? Where's he run off to? The good one, not the one that is begrudgingly our friend or what have you.
I don't know, I was busy making sausages. He said something and then he took off.
Manny, like,
All right,
he no longer looks angry, he's just sort of looking really confused.
Yes.
He kind of looks around, he wanders back into the shop and finds his gear and starts putting on his armor.
Hey, bring a couple sausages along. I hear there's a dog there.
His whole bag.
Yep, he proceeds to put on his gear, he then locks up the place, and then seems a little reluctant to go, but he locks it up.
Hey, do bone-faced dogs like meat?
He does have a bag, which is probably full of things.
Come again.
What do we know about that dog that pulls its face back and makes people afraid?
Oh yeah.
We did get that much
You
information.
did get
from-
that, yeah. Shelsa's not around, so you can't